I will prevent, and very easily, World War III, very easily. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It will be settled quickly. I will get the problem solved, and I will get it solved in rapid order, and it will take me no longer than one day. I know exactly what to say to each of them. I got along very well with them.
This is an expose of a man who has a lot of promises, but few are being met. That is the kind of message that these videos are trying to portray, because Trump was so much ambitious on how to transform the whole world. In fact, he said that in the next 24 hours before he gets sworn in, he would have ended the Russia-Ukraine war. We are over that, and the war is still on. And amidst all this, he's being blamed to fuel all these atrocities that Russia is doing to Ukraine. So let us watch this video on how people are exposing how Trump lied about ending the war, and comment in the end.
Why is Trump lying about Ukraine? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrew, and I lived and worked in Ukraine for 2 years during the war, so this is something I know quite a lot about. So if you've been paying attention to the media recently, you'll notice that Trump tells quite a lot of lies about Ukraine. First and foremost amongst these lies is a distortion on the amount of aid that's been given to Ukraine. Trump has often said that the United States has given $350 billion in aid to Ukraine. All available records show otherwise on this. It's nearer to about $150 billion when you include humanitarian, economic, and military aid. And another angle on this is that he often says that the United States has given $200 billion more than the European Union, which is also patently false. Most records indicate that the EU has actually given slightly more than the United States when combining economic, humanitarian, and military aid. Another of Trump's favorite lies is kind of around the total impact of the war in Ukraine and Russia. He's often quoted as talking about these astronomical casualty numbers. Now, while the numbers are rather high in reality, they're nowhere near what Trump says they are. He recently said that Russia has 1 million dead and Ukraine has 700,000. Now, even Ukraine, who has all the incentive in the world to claim that Russia has a high body count, says that Russia has only lost about 300,000 dead. And recently released documents leaked show that Ukraine probably has more than 70,000 dead. Now, when you add in casualty numbers, those who are injured, those numbers go up. But Trump very clearly has stated that these people are dead, which is simply not a fact. Another distortion of the impact of the war is how Trump regularly talks about how all the cities in Ukraine have been destroyed. And the answer to that is, which cities are you talking about? Because, Kharkiv, which is really close to the front line, you can see Russia from a tall building. It has damage, but the city is functional and lots of people still living there. Kiev is highly functional, Odessa, Lviv, and many other cities throughout the entire country. So this is another just patently false statement. And kind of the last section that he likes to lie about is the distortions on the blame of the war. So the most obvious of these are the recent statements where Trump says that Ukraine shouldn't have started the war. Well, they were invaded, and just about every sane person realizes that, and I'm sure Trump realizes that as well, but he's using this for what he perceives as some kind of advantage. And going along with that is how he recently accused Zelensky of being a dictator. Zelensky is a democratically elected leader. Now, since the war started, they have delayed elections, but there's almost no precedent for a country holding elections while being invaded and having a significant amount of their territory under occupation. It's basically impossible to hold such an election. So with all of this, you have to ask, why is Trump doing this? Why is he putting all this pressure on Ukraine by spreading this misinformation about them? And Your guess is as good as mine, but I would say it has something to do with trying to sway popular opinion. Ukraine is still very popular in the United States, and he's trying to chip away at that because if the people of the United States stop supporting Ukraine, it's easier for him to put pressure on them in these negotiations.
So when Pete Hegseth or anybody in this administration gets up on a fucking press conference and says something, oh, I've reviewed this and there's no proof that there was that. How the fuck are we supposed to believe anything they say? They're fucking constantly lying. I used to tell my kids the first time my kids lied, when I was raising kids, the first time a kid lied, I'd throw them through the ringer and say, now how am I supposed to trust you? I can never trust you ever again. Never again. You have lied to me once. Who's to say you won't lie to me again? Yet these MAGAs believe these motherfuckers who are constantly lying to them. You know he's lied. You've seen a lie. If you have never realized that Donald Trump has lied to you at least once, why do you still believe him? Why the fuck do you still believe him? Imbeciles.
I was wrong. I was wrong about President Donald Trump because almost everyone said this man would start a war. And I said no. I said he's a peaceful man, he's a pacifist. In fact, he advocates for peace. That was often my response. I even went as far as saying, well, in his first term, not a single war occurred. That was often my response. Yeah, fast forward till now, Ukraine and Russia, that's still going on. Israel and Palestine, that's still going on. Not only is all of that still happening, he can now be potentially inciting a new war. Israel and Iran. And all of this for what? Oh, Iran are building nuclear weapons. So what? So what if Iran is building nuclear weapons? Everyone else has them. The very same country, Israel, who's complaining about nukes, they have nuclear weapons. The UK has them. The US has them. France has them. China has them. India, Pakistan, they have them. North Korea has them. Why can't Iran have them? And another thing, how on earth do you bomb a nation, then invite that nation to negotiate? Why would they negotiate after you've just bombed them? How does the aggressor then start advocating for peace?
Donald Trump has already broken his first promise to the American people, and he hasn't even been inaugurated yet. Remember, he promised within 24 hours after winning the election, he would end the war in Ukraine. He would call Putin, and he'd call Zelensky, and he would tell him, you got to make a deal, and it'd be so easy. He already knew what to say. Now, before you Trump supporters get in my comments, I brought the receipts.
I would fix that within 24 hours. And if I win, before I get into the office, I will have that war settled. 100% sure.
Well, it's been 24 hours and that war is still going on. So maybe, Trump supporters, just maybe, this is your first sign that Donald Trump was full of it. That he can't just create these simple problems to very complex solutions. Maybe, just maybe, your energy bill won't be cut in half in 12 months after he's elected president. Prices probably won't drop back down to 2019 levels, but I will be here every step of the way to remind you of his promises made, promises broken.
So Trump said that before or in the next 24 hours after being sworn in, the war will have ended. And he talked as a very big man who has the capability of making sure that this one is met. So we are now here, and Trump is exposing himself as a man of deals, somebody who cannot help a country or help an individual without any return. So conditions are being given to Zelensky. I remember when Zelensky visited the Oval Office, he had to walk out because of the tough conditions, tough deals that Trump wanted him to sign. Is this the honesty that America wants to portray? Or is this really what Trump has to subject other countries because of the conflicts they face? Or is Trump amidst all this? Because you can't impose a deal or force a deal on someone in pretense that you are going to help him overcome a situation. Why don't Trump just do as he had promised during his campaigns? That will be the human act that would impress the whole world. I saw a conflict between Israel and Iran, and Trump was amidst all this and not making any effort to end these wars and fueling each and every bit of this war. So the big question is that for how long will Trump make all these lies? Will he really get back and say that enough is enough and we need order without expecting any pay or any deal to be signed? In Congo, it's a similar situation. Trump signed a deal to exploit minerals because he is pretending that he will end the war in Congo. That is the devastating situation that Mr. Donald Trump has subjected the whole world. So I want you to talk about this in the comment section. Also, if you're watching us for the first time, do not forget to subscribe and like, share. Thank you, and may God bless you.